Hi guys, in this video, we will be doing a question from performance management. Uh, it will be a question regarding the session decision making. So the question is named the Halka Hotel. Okay, we are doing a question called the Halka Hotel. So first of all, we should make an Excel file. First of all, we should make an Excel file. So create an Excel file and name it decision making. So we are doing a question from the module decision making. So we have to name the file decision making. So open the Excel file and open the Excel file and name the sheet. Open the Excel file and name the sheet as you can name the sheet as the Alka Hotel. The Alka Hotel, you can name it. Okay. So we'll be doing Alka Hotel. Whatever question you come across, you should read the requirement first. We should read the requirement. Here in Alka Hotel, there are 4 requirements. Okay, there are 4 requirements: A, B, C, and D. So let's see each requirement. The requirement A carries 4 marks, requirement B carries 4 marks, C 4 marks, and D 8 marks. So in total, it's 20 marks. It's a 20 mark question. We'll be doing all the 4 questions. So first of all, I can give you a hint. This is not this should not be right all the time, but it can happen at times. So there are 4 requirements, right? The answer to the scenario regarding the first requirement is most probably in the initial stage of your scenario. Okay, the second requirement is most probably in the second phase. The later session of your scenario, and the third requirement comes in the next few paragraphs. Okay, so according to ACCA, most of the papers, it's like most probably the scenario related to the first question, first requirement should be on the top. Okay, most probably it should be on the top. Anyway, there are 4 requirements. We should read the requirements. The requirements are, let me read requirement number 1. Requirement A. Using the current annual budget figures, okay, using the current annual budget figures and ignoring 2 proposed projects. Yeah, they're saying there are 2 proposed projects. We should ignore that. We should not consider the 2 proposed project. Okay, and there's a verb called calculate. Okay, they're asking us to calculate. We should calculate. Okay, it's there can be evaluate also. Calculation and evaluation are 2 different things. Okay, calculation in a perspective, they need us to calculate only. Evaluation means we need to comment also. Here we don't need to comment. We should only calculate. Calculate the break-even number of occupied rooms. Okay, they are asking us to calculate the break-even point of occupied rooms. So we need to calculate the break-even point of occupied rooms. At what point? How many occupied rooms? If we occupy this much rooms, our business will be like a break-even. There is no profit, no loss. So they are asking us to calculate the break-even point. What is the point of occupied rooms in which our business become break-even? No profit, no loss. Okay, and the margin of safety as a percentage. Again, they're asking us to calculate margin of safety. Okay, they're asking us to calculate the margin of safety. Margin of safety in a sense, what is mean by margin of safety? Margin of safety is nothing but how much we are more than. Okay, how much rooms are occupied more than the break-even point in a percentage. They're asking us to calculate margin of safety in a percentage, not margin of safety. They need us to calculate the margin of safety as a percentage. So we will be answering session requirement A. So right, requirement A here. So what was the question? They need us to calculate the break-even number of occupied rooms. So they need us to calculate the break-even point. Okay, or else we can say that break-even point in occupied rooms. Okay, so how to calculate break-even point? I have already discussed it in the earlier video that break-even point can be calculated by dividing total fixed cost by contribution per unit. The equation to calculate break-even point is nothing but total fixed cost divided by contribution per unit. Contribution per unit. Here it's not unit, it's actually occupied room nights. Anyway, we can write contribution per occupied room nights Okay, so if we get the total fixed cost of the occupied room nights and contribution per room night, we will get the break-even point in room nights. Break-even point in room nights. Okay, so let's read the scenario. Let's read the scenario. Okay, the Alka Hotel is situated in a major city. Alka Hotel is situated in a major city, close to many theaters and restaurants. Yeah, so it's a hotel which is near to a lot of theaters and restaurants. Anyway, let's discuss. The Alka Hotel has 25 double bedrooms. There are 25 double bedrooms in Alka Hotel. They are not telling about single bedrooms. There are only double bedrooms, and it charges guest 180 per room night. Yeah, we got their selling price. Okay, it's 180 per room night. They are charging $180 per room night, regardless of single or double occupancy. There are double bedrooms. Even if single occupancy, they are charging 180, regardless whether it is single or double. They are charging 180 only, no matter whether it's an occupancy of 1 person or 2 person. Either way, they will charge 180 rupees. And the hotel's variable cost per occupied room night is $60. Oh, we got the selling price and variable cost. So we needed actually contribution per room night. We need contribution per room night. So in order to get contribution, I have already mentioned the equation. We need to subtract variable cost from selling price. Okay, contribution per unit. It means contribution per room night. We need to subtract selling price by variable cost per unit. So the variable cost is $60. and the selling price is $180. So contribution per room night equals $180 selling price minus variable cost. Okay, selling price per room night minus variable cost per room night will give you contribution per room night. It is nothing but $120. So the contribution per room night is $120, and they are saying the Alka Hotel is open for 365 throughout the year. Throughout the year, they will be open and has a 70% budgeted occupancy rate. Okay, 70% they have a occupancy rate, which means 365 days, out of which 70% the rooms will be occupied. Fixed costs are budgeted at 6 lakh a year. Okay, total fixed cost for the year is budgeted at 6 lakh per year and accrue evenly throughout the year. Okay, remember this point, it accrues evenly throughout the year. This point will be needed for the next requirement, not for this requirement. For this requirement, we need 6 lakh total fixed cost. I have already told we need total fixed cost. So total fixed cost is nothing but 6 lakh. Okay, so we got the total fixed cost, we got the contribution per room night, we will get the break even point. So what is the break even point here? 6 lakh total fixed cost divided by contribution per unit. We will get 5,000 room nights. That's the break even point, which means if 5,000 rooms are occupied, 5,000 room nights are occupied, not rooms, it's room nights. Number of nights each people occupies, it's room nights. If 5,000 room nights are occupied, then they will be in a situation where they are not having profit or loss, neither profit nor loss. Okay, it's a break even. Okay, if 5,000 rooms are occupied, then it's a break even for Alka Hotel. So their break even point is nothing but 5,000 room nights. Okay, we should mention the unit also. It's room nights, 5,000 room nights. Okay, here we have already break even point in room nights. We have already mentioned break even point in room nights, so no problem. It's 5,000 room nights. Anyway, then what should we calculate? We should calculate. We have already calculated the first requirement, that is break even number of occupied room night. Then they need us to calculate the margin of safety as a percentage. Margin of safety as a percentage. What do you mean by margin of safety? Margin of safety is nothing but how much is the budgeted occupied room nights. How much the budgeted occupied room nights are more than the break even point. Okay, at what extent the budgeted room nights will be more than the break even point. That is what margin of safety. Anyway, in order to calculate margin of safety, we need budgeted room nights. What is their budgeted room nights occupancy? Okay, budgeted room nights. Okay, we need to calculate the budgeted room nights. Okay, they are telling there are 25 double bedrooms in Alka Hotel. So there are 25 double bedrooms. If and there are 365 days. If 25 double bedrooms are occupied for 365 days, there will be 25 into 365. No, that much room nights will be there. But unfortunately, only 75% of budgeted occupancy rate only there. So 25 into 365. This is a occupancy rate for 100%. We don't need 100%. We actually, there is only an occupancy rate of 70%. So we should multiply this by 70%. So we will get what? 6,387.5. This much of occupancy. This is budgeted room nights. Even if it becomes 5,000 room nights, then it will become break even. Actually, they are budgeting it to 6,387. They are expecting 6,387 room nights in total. Okay, even if it becomes 5,000, it will be a break even. So they are expecting 6,387. So we need to calculate the margin of safety. Margin of safety is nothing but what is margin of safety? Margin of safety is the number of room nights more than the break even point. Okay, it's the difference between break even point and the budgeted room nights. The budgeted room nights is 6,387.5 and the break even point is 5,000. The difference between budgeted room nights and break even point. How much more than is the budgeted room nights from break even point? It's 1,387.5. Okay, we can even round off this to 1,388. So this much will be the margin of safety. But they have asked us not to calculate the margin of safety, but to calculate the margin of safety in a percentage. They need us to calculate the margin of safety in a percentage. So what is the equation to calculate margin of safety in a percentage? Margin of safety in a percentage means budgeted sales units minus break-even point divided by budgeted sales unit into 100. That is what margin of safety in a percentage. So here we have already got margin of safety, which is budgeted sales units minus break-even point. The budgeted sales unit minus break-even point is margin of safety. We have already got margin of safety. So we have to take 1,388 in the numerator divided by what budgeted sales unit, which is budgeted room nights, it's 6,387. So we will get margin of safety as 22%. Okay, which means we are 22% more than the break-even point. Compared to the break-even point, the budgeted occupancy rate is 22% more than the break-even point. So we got margin of safety as a percentage. This is what the second requirement says. So we have already discussed it, break-even point, and we have already answered the margin of safety. So we have completed requirement A. We have got 4 marks here. Since if you can calculate both this budgeted break-even point and margin of safety in a percentage, we will get 4 marks. So requirement A is over. We need to calculate the requirement B. Okay, we need to first of all we need to discuss what it says. Ignoring the 2 proposed projects, there are 2 proposed projects. We need to ignore them. Okay, ignore them. We should not consider the 2 proposed projects. They need us to calculate before the proposed project. What's going on before the proposed project? So they need us to calculate the budgeted profit or loss. Okay, they want us to calculate the budgeted profit or loss for Q1. Okay, Q1 in a sense, it will be like a quarter one. Okay, first quarter. There are 365 days, out of which there will be 12 months. They need us to calculate for the first quarter only. For the first quarter, they need us to explain, they need us to calculate the budgeted profit and explain whether the Alka hotel should close for duration Q1. Okay, they are asking us to calculate budgeted profit in Q1. Q1 in a sense, it's like quarter one. Okay, they need us to calculate whether we are having profit or loss in quarter one, and they also want us to calculate. They also want us to explain whether Alka hotel should close down for the duration of Q1. Okay, since they have said whether Alka hotel should close for duration Q1, there will be something in scenario. We should read that. Okay, let's read. So most probably, since I have already read this question, I know what are the required things in the scenario. But I can give you. I have already told the first requirement. For the first requirement, we need certain values from this area. For the second requirement, it will be like the very near, the very much near to the very much. I mean, we have already discussed the first few paragraphs. The second requirement, most probably, the things we need for the second requirement will be in the next paragraph. Okay, so let's read the next paragraph. During the first quarter Q1, okay, they're telling about the first quarter of the year, the room occupancy rates are significantly below the levels expected at other times. Okay, for the quarter one, unfortunately, the room occupancy rates are significantly below the other quarters. Okay, since for the first quarter the room occupancy rate is below, they will be thinking like whether to shut down for quarter one or not. So that's why they have asked in the requirement whether we should consider shutting down or not. Anyway, so the Alka hotel is expected to sell 900 occupied room nights only during quarter one. In quarter one, they are expecting only 900 room nights. Okay, actually they have 6,000 room budgeted occupancy, 6,381 budgeted occupancy rate in the entire year, but they are expecting a 900 room nights for the quarter one only. Okay, that's why they are thinking whether to close down or not. Options to improve profitability. In order to improve their profitability are being considered. They are trying to improve their profitability, including closing the hotel. Okay, they have an option whether to close. They have already asked us to say whether whether they should close for Q1 or not. Anyway, for the duration of Q1, or adopting one or two possible projects as follows. There are two other possible projects. They are also asking us to, they are telling they can either adopt these policies or these projects, or else they can close down. Okay, in requirement, they asked us to calculate the profit or loss in Q1, and they need us to tell whether they should close down. Anyway, there is an equation to calculate. There is an equation to calculate what? There is an equation to calculate profit or loss. Actually, we can calculate by subtracting total sales minus total cost. That's how we get profit or loss. There is another equation in which it is like we can subtract total fixed cost from total contribution. Okay, total fixed cost from total contribution. We will get profit or loss. Okay, profit or loss. If it's a negative figure, then it will be loss. If it's a positive figure, then it will be a profit. Anyway, this is how we get the total profit or loss in Q1. So how to get total contribution? They have already told the contribution for the year is 6 lakh, and they have already mentioned it's accrued evenly throughout the year. Okay, the 6,000 is the 6 lakh. Sorry, it's not 6,000, it's 6 lakh. Fixed cost. The total fixed cost will be $6 lakh, but it's accrued evenly throughout the year. So we can just tell that it's the 6 lakh is accrued evenly throughout the year, so that we can simply divide 6 lakh by 4. Then we will get the total fixed cost for Q1 quarter one. So in order to get total fixed cost for quarter one, we can simply divide these 6 lakh by 4. This will be the total fixed cost for Q1 for the quarter one. Okay, and we need to get the total contribution for quarter one. So they have already mentioned the contribution. Okay, not there. We have already got the contribution per room night will be 120, and they have already mentioned there will be 900 occupied room nights in quarter one. So the contribution per unit per room night it's 120. So there are 900 room nights. So 120 into 900 will be the total contribution in quarter one. So in quarter one, it will be like 120 into 900. This is contribution per room nights, and this is the budgeted occupancy room nights in quarter one. So the total contribution in quarter one is $1,08,000. So we got the total contribution, we got the total fixed cost, and we can simply calculate profit or loss by subtracting total fixed cost from total contribution. So we got minus 42,000, which means this is a negative figure, which means it's a loss. Okay, it's a loss. It's a loss for quarter one. It's a loss. For the requirement A, we have already solved the for the requirement B, we have already solved the profit or loss in quarter one. So we have already solved it's whether it's a profit or loss. It's a loss, 42,000, negative 42,000, which means it's a loss. But they also need us to tell whether they should close down for Q1. Okay, the requirement says we should explain whether hotel should close for the period Q1. Okay, so I have to write here, have to type here. Okay, this will be like, this is not a calculation. They need us to type the answer. Okay, type the it will be like a paragraph. Okay, they need us to tell whether they should close down for Q1. So let me tell you, it's a loss in quarter one. It's a 42,000 loss, but they should not close down, because even if they close down, they will be incurring the total fixed cost of 1,50,000. Okay, which will be very much dangerous for them. Even if they close down, the total fixed cost will be there, so they should not close down. And even in quarter one, they have only less occupancy rate. They do have a contribution of 1,08,000. If they close down, they will lose the contribution of 1,08,000. So we must state that. So let me write it like a paragraph. You should write in a paragraph. Even though even though Alka Hotel, Alka Hotel, Alka Hotel is having a loss of dollar 42,000 in quarter one, they should not close down in quarter one, because even if they close down, they will incur the fixed cost. They will incur the fixed cost of dollar 1,50,000. Okay. So if they work in quarter one, they will get a contribution of dollar 1,08,000. Okay. If they close down, they will lose the contribution. So I have written the answer in simple words only. Okay, in simple words. You can also follow the same. You can just write in simple words only. The examiner will know. Examiner is not. No, examiner don't want you to write in a tough paragraph. You can simply write down the answer. You need to make sure that examiner will get your answer. Okay. So I have wrote about the financial perspective. Irrespective of the financial perspective, think about if they close in Q1, the customer reputation will be lost. If customers comes in and they see that Alka Hotel is closed down, it will affect the customer reputation. Okay, customer will think that, oh, they won't be opening in other quarters also. They will probably lose the customers. So we need to mention that also. We have already mentioned the financial perspective. We should also mention the other perspective, non-financial perspective also. Okay, if we should also write if Alka Hotel shuts down for Q1, they will probably lose their reputation. Okay, if customer comes in and sees the Alka Hotel is closed, they will probably think that Alka Hotel won't be opening other quarters also. Okay, so they will think that the Alka Hotel won't be open in the other quarters. Not only in Q1, other quarters also Alka Hotel won't be open. The customer will think that way, so it will affect their reputation. So in order to counter both the situation, they need to be open. Okay, in order to counter that, Alka Hotel should be open in Q1. Okay, we have mentioned the financial perspective in paragraph 1 and the non-financial perspective in the paragraph 2. So if we can mention all these things, we would probably get the marks. Okay, we have already calculated the profit or loss, it's a loss, and we have mentioned the financial perspective, whether they should close down, and the non-financial perspective, whether they should close down. We have got the 4 marks. You will be getting the 4 marks if you can write all these things. Okay, so we have already completed requirement A and requirement B. So we need to go for requirement C. In requirement C, they are asking us to calculate the break-even point in sales value of project 1. Okay, now it's project 1. They are asking us to calculate about project 1 and explain whether the hotel should adopt the project. They also need us to calculate whether they should adopt the project. Okay, so let's see what are the things that is discussed in project 1. Okay, there is a project named theater package. Okay, they are trying to give a package to their customers. Okay, for Q1 only, for the quarter 1 only, Alka Hotel would offer guest a theater package. Yeah, they are trying to give a package. Okay, actually, we have already said that in Q1, they do have a lower occupancy rate. In order to count that, they are now thinking about a project 1. Okay, it's a theater package, giving a theater package to their customers in Q1. Okay. Couples who pays 2 consecutive room nights. Okay. If a couples, they are ready to pay for 2 consecutive room nights, not one, for 2 consecutive room nights at a special rate of $67 per room night. Okay. If they are ready to pay for 2 consecutive room nights, giving $67.50 per room night, they will receive a pair of theater tickets of a payment of $100. Okay. They will receive a $100 theater ticket. Okay. A pair of theater ticket for $100. For 2 tickets, it will be $100. Okay. It's a wonderful package. Anyway, let's see. The theater tickets are very good value. That's in a very good value. As I have already told, Alka Hotel is situated near theaters. So the theaters will be near now. And the charges will be more than $100. But Alka Hotel is offering for $100. Okay, which will be a good package. The theater tickets are very good value and are resulting of a result of a long negotiation. How did they get the theater ticket? They got the theater ticket after a long negotiation between the Alka Hotel management and the local theaters. Okay, they negotiated with the local theaters and got the theater tickets. And the theater tickets cost $95 a pair. For a pair of tickets, it's only $95. So the variable cost is for the variable cost for the theater tickets is it's nothing but $95, and they are selling it for $100. So there will be a contribution of $5 per theater ticket. Anyway, they are offering a package of giving a pair of theater tickets for couples who take room for 2 consecutive room nights at $67.50 per room night. Anyway, the Alka Hotels fixed cost specific to the project. Okay, specific to this project, the fixed cost will be budgeted at $20,000. Okay, the total fixed cost for this project is $20,000. Anyway, the hotel believes that theater package. Okay, this project is named nothing but theater package will have no effect on the usual customers. Usual customers in Q1 will be there, which is 900 occupied room night. It will be there, so there won't be having any effect in the usual customers. They are considering about the other customers. Okay, the usual customers are all business travelers who have no interest in theater ticket. They are all business travelers. They won't be interested in theater tickets. Okay. Anyway, let's answer the requirement. What was the requirement? They need us to calculate the break-even point in sales value of project 1. Okay, project 1 is nothing but theater package. Okay, for the theater package, they need us to calculate break-even point. So how to calculate the break-even point? So it's not break-even point in units. They need us to calculate break-even point in sales value. Break-even point in sales value can be calculated by dividing total fixed cost by contribution, not contribution, by CS ratio. By CS ratio. Okay, we can write it down, CS ratio of the package. Okay, CS ratio of the package. If we get the CS ratio of the entire package and the total fixed cost, we'll be getting the what break-even point in revenue, break-even point in sales, which means break-even point in dollars. We'll be getting the break-even point in dollars. So if we want to get the CS ratio of the package, entire package, we need to get the total, what we need to get the let me add a column here so that it will be looking nice. Okay, so we need to get the total we need to get the revenue per package. Revenue per package. We need to get the revenue per package, which means it's like selling price per unit. We need to get the revenue per package. So in a package, there will be room nights and also what? And also there will be theater tickets. Okay, there will be theater tickets. Okay, so the revenue for room nights will be for a package, for one package, the revenue from room nights will be 67.50 per night. Okay, they need 2 consecutive nights. Okay, 2 consecutive nights in order to get the package. So the total revenue we get from the package is from one package is 67.50 into 2. So from room, the total revenue per package for one package, it will be 67.50 into 2. It will be like 135. So from room nights, they will get 135 from one package. From tickets, they will be getting $100. Okay, for a pair of ticket, it will be $100. So they will be getting $100 from tickets. So for one package, they will be getting a total revenue of 135 plus 100, which is 235. So the revenue from the package is $235. So we actually need CS ratio. Okay, CS ratio in a sense, contribution to sales ratio. We got the selling price of one package. We also need the contribution. Okay, we also need the contribution. Anyway, in order to get the contribution per package, we should calculate the variable cost per package. Variable cost per package. Variable cost per package. So for the room nights, what will be the variable cost? And for the tickets, what will be the variable cost? We need to calculate both. For room nights, the variable cost will be it's 2 nights. No, it's 2 consecutive nights. For one night, the variable cost is we have already discussed it. For one night, the variable cost for Alka Hotel per occupied rooms is $60. So for 2 nights, it will be 60 into 2. How much? $120. So $120 will be the variable cost for room nights for Alka Hotel in this package. So they need for one package, they require they will incur 120 variable cost for the room. For the ticket, they have already mentioned after long negotiation, they got the tickets for $95 a pair. Okay, for $95, the total variable cost of ticket per package in a single package, it will be 95. In total, the variable cost will be 120 plus 95. It will be 215. Okay, that's a variable cost per package. Okay, we got the sales per package, which means selling price per unit. or here we can say since it is a service, we can say revenue per package, and we got the variable cost per package. And since we got both, we can easily calculate the what contribution per package. We can easily calculate the contribution per package. Contribution per package. How to calculate the contribution per package? Contribution per package can be calculated by subtracting the variable cost per package from revenue per package. So revenue per package minus variable cost per package will give you contribution per package. So this will be the contribution per package for Alka Hotel. Okay. So we got the contribution, we got the selling price. Okay. So this is what called CS ratio. So 20 is the contribution, 235 is the selling price per package. So 20 by 235 is the CS ratio. So CS ratio can be calculated by 20 divided by 235, which means we can convert this to percentage. 9% is the CS ratio. The CS ratio is nothing but 9%. So if we get the total fixed cost of the package, we will be getting the break-even point in dollars. So they have already mentioned the total fixed cost is like $20,000. So $20,000 is the total fixed cost. The CS ratio is 9%. If we divide total fixed cost by CS ratio, we'll be getting the break-even point in dollars. So break-even point in dollars, break-even point in sales revenue is total fixed cost divided by CS ratio, which is $235,000. What does the 235,000 means? It means the break-even point in sales revenue. If we can generate a sales revenue from the theater package of 235,000, it will be in a situation where no profit, no loss. It's called break-even. The break-even point will be $235,000 in sales revenue. If they can get 235,000 sales revenue for the theater package, they will be having no profit. They will be in a situation where there is no profit, no loss. If they will be able to get more sales revenue than 235,000, it will be like a profit for them. If they cannot even achieve 235,000 sales revenue, they will be in a situation where they will be incurring loss. So the break-even point in sales revenue is nothing but 235,000. Okay, 235,000. Okay, so we got the break-even point also. Okay, then in the next requirement, they are asking explain whether the hotel should adopt the project. So they are asking whether we should adopt the project. Let's calculate whether there will be enough available rooms in order to do the project 1. So before that, let's calculate the break-even point in room nights. Break-even point in room nights. How many room nights will be there? Okay, how many room nights will be there in order to achieve the break-even point? How many room nights should be there in order to achieve the break-even point? Okay, how to calculate break-even point in room nights? Or else we can say break-even point in, first of all, we shall calculate break-even point in package. Okay, how many packages we should sell in order to achieve break-even point. So in order to calculate that, we already know the equation to calculate break-even point is nothing but total fixed cost divided by contribution per unit. Here the unit is packages. So total fixed cost divided by contribution per package, which means 1,000 room nights will be the break-even point in, no, not room nights, 1,000 packages. They need to sell 1,000 packages in order to achieve break-even point. So we need to calculate room nights. So in order to convert this break-even point into room nights, we need to just for one package, we should need 2 occupied room nights. So in break-even, so in order to calculate break-even point in room nights, just simply multiply the break-even point in packages with 2. So if 2,000 rooms are occupied, then it will be break-even for the theater package. So break-even point in room nights is nothing but 2,000 room nights. So in order to achieve break-even point in theater package, they need to sell 2,000 room nights. Okay, they need to achieve 2,000 room nights in order to get the break-even. So unfortunately, what 900 rooms is already occupied. They have told that in Q1 900 rooms are already occupied irrespective of the project 1. Anyway, this is the break-even point, but we should calculate the budgeted occupancy. We should calculate the budgeted occupancy. Okay, what will be Alka Hotel thinking about the occupancy in Q1 if they can go for the theater package? They are thinking about Q1. No, okay, they are thinking about Q1. Since in total, wait, not the budget occupancy. We need to calculate the total available room nights in Q1. Total available room nights. First of all, we need to calculate total available room nights. The total available room nights will be, so there are 25 double bedrooms. If it goes for 365 days, it will be 25 into 365. Unfortunately, we are in the Q1 only. So we need to calculate for Q1. So we can divide this value divided by 4. So in Q1, there will be 2,281 room nights. So this will be the total available room nights. Anyway, it will be 2,281 room nights in Q1. It's only the available room nights. So out of which they need to achieve 2,000 room nights to achieve break-even point. Anyway, there will be 2,281 available room nights, out of which there will be already occupied rooms of 900 rooms. It's already occupied. And the balance rooms rooms to do the project 1, which is the theater package. They do have only 1,381 rooms. So they do have only 1,281 rooms. Unfortunately, they need a balance of 2,000 rooms in order to achieve break-even. Okay, we have already mentioned, in order to achieve break-even point, they need to have at least 2,000 units, 2,000 room nights. But unfortunately, the total available room nights for quarter 1 is 2,281. Out of which 900 is already occupied. So balance is nothing but 1,381 room nights. So they cannot achieve break-even point. So project 1 is not possible for them. So we should write it down. Okay, we should write that down also. Okay, just type here, since Alka Hotel don't have enough available room nights for achieving break-even point for project 1. Break-even point for project 1. Alka Hotel should not go for, they shouldn't go for what? Project 1. Go for the theater package. Or else we can say the project 1 theater package. Okay. We have mentioned whether Alka Hotel should go for the theater package or not. Okay, anyway, we have got the answer. It's a long answer. Even if it's a bit long answer, they will give us only how much marks? Only 4 marks. Okay, only 4 marks. Okay, so we have completed requirement A, requirement B, and requirement C. So in requirement D, let's discuss about requirement D. Using the graph, okay, there will be a graph provided. We should quantify and comment upon the financial effect. Okay, we should quantify and comment upon the financial effect of project 2. Okay, they are also asking us to quantify. Okay, the verb is quantify. We need to calculate. Okay, and comment. Not only we need to calculate, and they also need us to comment. It's like an evaluation. Evaluation is like that. We need to calculate and comment. Okay, it's not calculate. They need us to calculate and comment also. The financial effect of project 2. So we need to calculate and comment based on project 2. Okay, the financial effects. Anyway, there are 4 marks available for calculations, and most probably the other 4 marks will be for comment, for the comment we make. Anyway, let's see the graph. Okay, so project 2 is like a restaurant. Okay, they're trying to build a restaurant in Alka Hotel. So there is a scope to extend Alka Hotel. So they can extend Alka Hotel and create space to operate a restaurant for the benefit of guests. So there will be guests, no? Since it is a hotel, there will be guests, and they're trying to open a restaurant for those guests. Anyway, the annual cost, okay, the annual cost, revenues, volumes for the combined restaurant and hotel. Okay, they are planning to make a restaurant also. So the annual figures for the combined project for the restaurant and the hotel, the combined project, a graph is already given. This is the graph for the, this is like a break-even chart for the project 2. Okay, for the project 2. So let's discuss about the graph first. Okay, so project 2 is nothing but a restaurant along with the hotel. Anyway, if they open that restaurant, the total annual figures are given here. So let's see. First of all, let's see the line called sales. As I mentioned, just see the line sales. Sales is nothing but this line. Okay. So before that, let me explain. They have given number of occupied room nights in the x-axis and the dollar values in the y-axis. Okay. So let's see if they didn't occupy any rooms. Okay. If they didn't occupy any rooms, there will be no sales revenue. Okay. There will be no sales revenue. The sales revenue will increase according to the number of occupied room nights. Okay. It will be increasing according to the number of occupied room nights. Okay. Then see the fixed cost. Even if they didn't occupy any room nights, there will be $800 of 800,000. It's not 800, $800,000 of fixed cost. So fixed cost will be $800,000 irrespective of how many occupied room nights are there. Okay. Even if there isn't any room nights that is occupied, there will be fixed cost. If there is 1,000 room nights, if there is 2,000 room nights, if any number of room nights, even if any number of room nights, the fixed cost will be 800,000. Fixed cost won't change. That's a straight line now. Okay. And see the total cost. The total cost will be like 1,560. It's 1,560,000. It's in thousands. So it will be like 15 lakh 16,000. 15 lakh 60,000. Okay. So the total cost will be 15 lakh 60,000. Okay. So total cost in the sense what? Total cost if 8,000 room nights are occupied. Okay. Sales revenue if 8,000 room nights are occupied, it's 2,000 thousands. Okay. So this is what regarding 8,000 occupied room nights, not our budgeted figure. Anyway, if 8,000 room nights are occupied, then it will be 2,000 thousand, which means 2 million. Okay. Anyway, let's see. What is the break-even point here? Break-even point will be the point at which no profit, no loss. A point at which total cost equals total sales. Total cost equals total sales. It's a point where total cost will be equal to the total sales. So this is the break-even point. This is the break-even point. So break-even point in occupied room night will be 5,161. So break-even point in occupied room night will be 5,161. Okay. So they're also stating about the margin of safety. What do you mean by margin of safety? Margin of safety is nothing but how much is the budgeted sales or budgeted sales unit is more than the break-even point. So the difference between break-even point and the budgeted occupancy rate is called the margin of safety. So the budgeted occupancy rate will be 7,300. Okay, they are expecting an occupancy of 7,300 room nights. So we got the break-even point. Break-even point is 5,161, and the margin of safety is nothing but the difference between 5,161 and 7,300. The difference is called margin of safety. Okay, so at the point, if they can occupy 5,161 room nights, it will be like they will be having in a situation where there is no profit, no loss. But they are expecting an occupancy of 7,300. Definitely, if they can achieve 7,300, they will be achieving a profit. Anyway, we should consider the financial effect of project 2. Okay, in order to consider the financial effect, we should make some calculation. Let me calculate some figures in order to write the description. Okay, so I will be writing here some figures both before doing the project 2 and after doing the project 2. Let's write down the break-even point in room nights. Break-even point in room nights. The total revenue that Alka Hotel will get if they do the project 2, and what will be the total revenue? What was the total revenue before doing project 2? Okay, so we'll be writing the total revenue. We'll be writing the total variable cost. Okay, total variable cost. Okay, the total fixed cost, and the total profit, total profit. Okay, so if we get all this, we can describe about the financial effects. So these are the financial values. Okay, these are the financial values. So they can also go for margin of safety. We can also look for margin of safety. Margin of safety in a percentage. Okay, margin of safety in a percentage. We can simply calculate all these figures in order to describe about the financial effect. So in order to describe about the financial effect, we need to calculate all these figures. So let me calculate all these figures before doing the project 2. Okay, what will be the total figure? We have already calculated the total figures. So let me calculate. Yeah, I already calculated many figures here. So let me calculate all these things before doing project 2. What was the break-even point before doing project 2? We have already calculated it. It's nothing but 5,000 room nights. If they can achieve 5,000 room nights, it will be like break-even for Alka Hotel. So we have wrote 5,000 room nights. It's the break-even point before doing project 2. So what was the revenue before doing project 2? The revenue will be like selling price per unit was 180. Okay, they can sell the revenue they generate per room nights is 180, and they expected an occupancy of 6,387.5 now. So the total revenue they will be achieving will be like this much amount. Okay, 180 into 6,387.5. That much revenue they will be expecting before doing project 2. Okay, so let's calculate the total variable cost. The variable cost per room night was $60. If they can achieve, they are expecting to achieve the budgeted occupancy room nights. The budgeted occupied room nights they are expecting before project 2 was 6,387. So the total cost will be like 60 into 6,387, which will be like $3,83,250. Okay. Then the total fixed cost before doing the project was, we have already mentioned, it's 6 lakh. The total fixed cost before doing the project was 6 lakh, and we can simply calculate the total profit by subtracting total cost from total revenue. So the total revenue minus total variable cost minus total fixed cost. This will be the total profit before doing project 2. And we can also calculate the margin of safety. We have already calculated the margin of safety here before doing project 2. It's 1,388, and the margin of safety in percentage was nothing but 22%. Okay, all these figures are before doing project 2. Okay, all these figures are before doing project 2. So we must calculate after doing project 2 what will be the break-even point in room night, what will be the revenue, what will be the variable cost, what will be the total fixed cost, what will be the total profit, etc. So we need to calculate the break-even point after doing project 2. So if they do project 2, their break-even point will be 5,161. So this is the point where total cost equal total revenue. No, that is what break-even point. So break-even point is 5,161. Okay, we got the break-even point. Okay, so then we can simply calculate the margin of safety first. Okay, we can calculate easy things first. So margin of safety is the difference between total budgeted occupancy rate and break-even point. Okay, they are budgeting 7,300 unit room nights, and the break-even point is like 5,161. The difference is called margin of safety. So margin of safety is 7,000 after doing project 2 will be 7,300 minus break-even point 5,161. So the margin of safety will be like 2,139. So the margin of safety in percentage. So the margin of safety in percentage will be like margin of safety divided by, what is mean by margin of safety? Budgeted sales units minus break-even point. That is what the numerator, that is nothing but margin of safety. The numerator is not margin of safety, and divided by the budgeted occupancy, which means 7,300. So the margin of safety in percentage is nothing but 29%. Okay, 29%. So they got the so we got the margin of safety in percentage also. So we need to calculate the revenue. Okay, total revenue that we get from the project 2. Okay, after doing the project 2. So here we can say that we will get, okay, the Alka Hotel will get 2 million. Okay, this is 2 million sales revenue if there is 8,000 occupied room nights. Okay, 8,000 occupied room nights. Unfortunately, they are considering a budgeted occupancy of 7,300 only. Okay, so we need to calculate what will be the sales revenue of 7,300 occupied rooms. Okay, what will be the sales revenue that they will get from 7,300 occupied rooms? Okay, simply we can calculate the total sales revenue they will get for 8,000 occupied room nights is 2 million. So we can simply calculate for 7,300 occupied room nights. So the total revenue they will get from 2,000 occupied 2 million occupied sorry, from 8,000 occupied room nights will be 2 million. So we need to calculate not for 8,000 occupied room nights, we need to calculate for 7,300. So we have to multiply this figure by 7,300 rooms. We will get the sales revenue for 7,300 occupied rooms. So this will be the revenue if they can achieve 7,000, the budgeted sales figure. Okay, it's not 2 million, it's a bit less than 2 million. It's 18 lakh 25,000. Okay. So we got the total revenue. So we need to calculate fixed cost. Fixed cost will be also easy. Fixed cost is given here. It's a straight line. Fixed cost won't change. So it's 800,000. The fixed cost will be 800,000. Okay. We can simply take it from the graph. Okay. Fixed cost we got. We need to calculate the variable cost for 7,300 occupied room nights. What will be the variable cost for 7,300 occupied room nights? So let's say that for 8,000 occupancy, the total cost will be 15. It will be 15 lakh 60,000. Okay, for 8,000 room night the total cost will be 15 lakh 80,000. Okay, for 8,000 room night the total cost will be 15 lakh 60,000. Okay, right, 15 lakh 60,000. Okay, so it's the total cost for 8,000 room night. We don't need the total cost, we need only the variable cost. So in order to get the variable cost, we can simply subtract the fixed cost from total cost. Okay, if we subtract the fixed cost from total cost, we'll get the variable cost. Okay, so we can simply subtract the fixed cost. Fixed cost is nothing but 8 lakh. This is the total variable cost of 8,000 budgeted room nights. Okay, 8,000 budgeted room nights. So we need to divide by 8,000. So if we divide by 8,000 and multiply that figure by 7,300, we will get the variable cost for 7,300 occupied room nights, which will be 6,93,500. Okay, we got the variable cost for 7,300. The budgeted figure, budgeted occupied room night will be 7,300. We'll get 6,93,500. So we got both variable cost and fixed cost. We can calculate the total profit by simply dragging this one. So you can see that earlier, before doing project 2, the profit was only 1,66,500. Now it's 3,31,500. The profit has increased. So we can also write the increment here. At what level all these figures have increased after doing project 2. We can calculate by simply subtracting all these figures from the figures of all the figures in the after doing project. All the figures after doing project by all the figures from before doing the project. Okay, so we can simply subtract the figures. We'll get all the figures. Okay, the increment. This is the percentage, right? Okay, so we got all the figures here. Okay, the amount that is increased after doing project 2. Okay, anyway, we have got so many calculations here. We need to comment upon them. They need us not only to calculate but also to comment. So I am inserting a text box here. I will be inserting a text box here in order to comment. Okay, in order to comment, I will be inserting a text box here. Okay. Okay, first of all, let me discuss about the break-even point. Okay, first of all, let me discuss about the break-even point. Okay, the break-even point has only a slight difference. Okay, the break-even point has increased after doing the project 2. Only a slight difference. It's only 161. Has only a slight difference, which is 161 occupied room nights. Okay, so there won't be much difference in break-even point, even if they do project 2. Even if they do project 2, there won't be much difference in break-even point. So we wrote about break-even point, and we should write about the sales revenue. Okay, we should write about the sales revenue. Okay, the sales revenue will increase by what amount? Will increase by 3 lakh 3,10,250 will increase by dollar 3,10,250 if they go for project one. Okay, which is a significant, okay, which is a significant figure now of 3 lakh. This is a significant difference. Okay, significant difference, or else we can say significant increment. Okay, the sales revenue will probably increase by 3,10,250. Okay, 3,10,250. That much dollar sales revenue will increase. So we need to write about cost. Okay, cost. The cost increments. Okay, both variable cost and fixed cost will increase by a certain amount if they do project 2. They do project 2, both variable cost and fixed cost gonna increase. But this will be probably in line with the increment in sales revenue. So why did the fixed cost and variable cost gonna increase? It will be probably in line with the sales revenue increment. Okay, sales revenue increment. Okay, we wrote about the figures, the cost figures also. So then let's write about the profit. So then let's write about the profit. Okay. The profit figure gonna will be increased by an amount of what figure? An amount of $1,65,000. An amount of $1,65,000 if they go for project 2, which is also a significant increment. Okay, we wrote about the profit figure also. So then we should write about the margin of safety. If margin of safety is increased, it will be good for us. No, margin of safety is nothing but how much we are safer. Okay, so the margin of safety, okay, we can simply write down the margin of safety has increased at 8%. Will be increasing 8% after doing project 2. So the margin of safety will increase by 8%. The margin of safety will increase by 8% after doing project 2, which will be good for ACCA Hotel. Okay, we wrote about the margin of safety also. So we have already calculated many things, and we wrote about all the things here. We wrote about everything here. So that is what they require us to do. Okay, so we have completed all the requirements here. We have completed all the requirements. Okay, all the requirements. Okay, so that is what they need us to calculate. So we have completed requirement A, requirement B, requirement C, and requirement D. If we are able to do all these things correctly, we will be getting 20 marks in total. That will be really fine. So I hope everyone understood the way we did the answer. So I want all of you to do the same and send me the Excel file in which you did the answer to our WhatsApp group. Anyway, thank you for your patience. Have a nice day. Thank you.